I've been helping people to make presentations for nearly 25 years now. So what's the key thing? What does it all boil down to? Is it having a strong voice?
And I've seen the promised land.
No, your own voice is perfect. What about knowing your stuff?
Electron diffraction is a purely quantum effect. We can't explain it using classical physics.
No, you won't be asked to give a presentation if you don't know your stuff. But knowing something and explaining it, they're two totally different things. What about confidence?
I could stop wars with a telephone call.
Definitely not. In politics, confidence and confidence alone has got a lot of yahoos into a lot of big jobs.
Peppa Pig world is very much my kind of place.
But in the kind of work presentations that you and I have to give, how you feel, how nervous or confident you feel, and how well you actually present, those things are actually totally unconnected. So what is it? The two words I find myself using over and over again are clear thinking. If you think clearly, you will present clearly. And nowhere is this more apparent and nowhere is it more often overlooked than in the visuals. How often is the slideshow in a presentation actually really good? Surprisingly seldom. We've all heard the expression death by PowerPoint 1,000 times. And what I find more and more in recent years is if you focus on the slides, it clears your thinking and it unleashes the power of the visuals to really add to the presentation. And in that regard, there are three key principles. First, the visuals should be sequential, one thing at a time. I mean, if you think about it, I'm saying one thing at a time, so it makes perfect sense to show one thing at a time in step with that. And PowerPoint is uniquely good at doing this. I only use 3 or 4 animations when I'm creating slideshows, but they're particularly useful when presenting technical material to create what I call mobile visual arguments. The second thing is clarity, clear. There's that word again. And what I mean by this is that you're not afraid to be as bold and as simple and as raw and as clear with the visuals you use to explain what you're explaining. What you're explaining might be very complex, and often it will be. So the visuals you use, just like the words you use, they should be as simple and as clean as possible so that the presentation becomes a window on the concepts that you're explaining. And in that way, then you can build up from something very simple to something more complex, but only in that order. The third thing the visuals should be is visual. What a surprise. But most slides are not visual. There's all sorts of garbage put on them, mostly text, that doesn't use the power of the visual medium. And what you want to really focus on is things like form, color, illumination, motion, recognition, association, so that it becomes a show and tell. You do the telling verbally and the slides do the showing, and the two together is really powerful. So in that regard, I find clear thinking, clear visuals, clear presenting, they all go together. If you want to know more, click on the QR code or send me an email, and hopefully I can't be any clearer than that.